Okay, it's 9 o'clock. We'll call this meeting to order. Under the approval of today's agenda, we will approve it with two changes. The civilian crime scene technician and police services generals will be removed. So we'll just be approving when we get the certification list and in the approval of today's agenda, C, D, E, and F, those jobs. So Chair would entertain a motion to approve today's agenda with those changes.
I move approval of the agenda with those changes.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Okay, approval of minutes from last meeting. Any changes? Any thoughts?
I make the motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from last meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. So approved. Okay, new business. Police officer recruitment process, spring of 2021. Would you care to address the audience, sir?
Oh, you want me to address the audience? Good morning, Commissioners. So I've been before you frequently on the police officer process. Back in February, we approved you certified a certification list for police officer. Everyone on that list has been offered employment. So I am seeking approval today for the next police officer recruitment process, which will begin today. Applications will go live today. They'll be open for a period of about 3 weeks. We will then migrate into the physical ability testing, which I'm happy to report that the downtown Bittner Y will be hosting our physical ability testing. Toby, we'll see you there.
I'll see you there.
Followed by the state certified police officer selection test, written examination, followed by the background investigations. And then we'd be looking for, we're going to do interviews on July 16 and 19. And then we'd be looking for certification in July. One caveat to that, due to our truncated time frame on this process and to be in advance of the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy in August, I'd be looking for you to postpone or push back your July meeting 1 week from July 14 to July 21. That will, of course, allow us to have the interviews on the 16th and the 19th. Okay. So that one change there. But any questions? Very similar process to the last 3 you approved.
I have a question.
Yes.
How many officers do we anticipate we'll get out of this recruitment process?
Well, we will probably have, we historically have about 100 or so apply, usually. Now, when we whittle down all the way to the final certification list, the list have been under 10 when it comes to final certification. So it's just the process itself has a big funnel that whittles down. As you know, in the past, people don't show up, people don't schedule, and of course, people don't pass various components.
Is that enough, or will we have to do it again?
We may have to do it again. Yeah. It all depends on how many we hire. But if history serves us right, we'll be hiring maybe the entire list. We'll see.
Thank you.
So thank you. Any other questions?
How many anticipated openings?
We've got at least one, but you never know when it comes to retirements. Sure. We always have officers who are eligible for retirement.
Yeah, okay.
Four. Gotcha. Okay. 4.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate that.
Do we have to vote on anything for new business? Okay.
Approve the process, yes. Thank you, Chairman.
I move that the process as recommended be approved.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you all.
Yep.
Okay, old business. Any old business to come?
Nope, nothing under old business.
Come on up.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to the certification list.
I just have a question. Why were those ones deleted?
Sure. We're still working on the background investigations.
Okay.
We're not done with those yet.
No, I guess the original, there were certain ones that were from the agenda that were deleted that were...
Yeah, crime scene technician and police services generalist. We're
Okay.
still in the process of doing the background investigations.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So this morning we do have a financial analyst position,
It is an entry-level position in the revenue division of our finance department. The written examination was weighted at 30%. The interview portion was weighted at 70%. The list is ready for certification. As you can see, the salary range, and this is a non-bargaining position. The minimum qualifications are a bachelor's degree in finance, accounting, or a closely related field, or an equivalent combination of education and experience. They must pass a criminal background check as prescribed by the city, and then they must maintain residency throughout the duration of their employment per Iowa Code 400.17. We had 27 applicants. 21 candidates were qualified and invited to participate in the written examination. 4 candidates passed the written examination, 1 withdrew, 11 did not show, and 5 scored below 70%. 4 candidates were invited to participate in the interview. The 4 candidates did pass the interview. The 4 candidates also passed the background checks, and those 4 are on the certification list. And then we do have our statistics.
Question.
Sure.
I've forgotten. Of those 4 on that list, do you go by any criteria in choosing, or can the selectors choose any one of them?
The hiring manager can choose any 4 from that list. Okay. And then our stats. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So our electrical inspector is an entry-level position in the Development and Neighborhood Services Department. The written examination was weighted at 30%. The interview was weighted at 70%. The list is ready for certification. Again, we have our salary range, and this is part of our AFSCME union. The minimum qualifications are a high school diploma and 3 years experience in the electrical trade at the journeyman level, or an equivalent combination of training and experience. Certified by the ICC, the International Code, within 1 year of employment. They must possess a valid driver's license and must maintain that throughout the duration of employment. They must pass a criminal background check, again, as prescribed by the city, and must become an Iowa resident within 2 years of hire and maintain that residency through the duration of employment per Iowa Code 400.17. We had 13 applicants. 8 candidates were qualified and invited to participate in the written examination. 4 candidates passed the written examination, 2 withdrew, and 2 did not show. 4 candidates were invited to participate in the interview. Those 4 candidates passed the interview along with the background check, and all 4 are on the list to be certified.
I just have a general question, not just with this one, but all of them, as they should. They have equivalent experience or training. Is this totally a case-by-case basis, or are there some general guidelines that you use?
Sure, the guidelines for, like I said, journeyman level. So the individual may not have a journeyman license, but has completed the apprenticeship program and completed the specified number of hours of on-the-job training that are required to obtain that journeyman license.
Okay, there'd be certain guidelines for each job description. For
Correct.
equivalent. It isn't just, well, yeah, they really seem good.
Yes,
but
no, that is correct. There are certain guidelines for this, for each position.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
And then our stats. So our compost equipment operator 2 is a promotional position in the compost division of Public Works. The written examination was weighted at 100%. The list is ready for certification. We have our salary range, and this is part of the Teamsters Union. Minimum qualifications are 2 years of successful experience operating large front end loaders, the 5 to 10 cubic yard ejector type bucket, yard waste grinding equipment, monitoring composting equipment operations, driving trucks and tractors, performing moisture balance and compost process operations, mixing, monitoring, and testing, or an equivalent combination of training and experience. May be required to pass a state of Iowa certification, and must possess a valid Class B Iowa driver's license, CDL, and obtain a valid Class A CDL within the 6 months of hire. We have 6 applicants. 4 of those were qualified and invited to the written examination. 3 candidates passed the examination, 1 did not show, so we do have 3 candidates on that list to be certified.
I have a question.
Sure.
On that residency thing, back on an earlier one, it said they must maintain their residency, but didn't say must get it within 2 years. And then there's not a residency requirement on some of those?
So because they're a current employee, that residency requirement would already be met. Yes. Okay.
So the 3 applicants are all internal employees?
They are all
Okay.
internal applicants, yes.
Very good, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. And then our stats are. And any questions before I move on? Okay. Our fire lieutenant, this is a promotional position in the fire department. The written examination was weighted at 45%, which must be passed with a minimum of 70%. Our tactical was weighted at 45%, which also must be passed with a minimum of 70%. The interview was weighted at 10%, and they must pass with a minimum of 70%. This list is ready for certification. Again, we have our salary range, and this is part of the Davenport Association of Professional Firefighters Union. Oh, maybe go back. So their minimum qualifications are, it does require 1 completed year of service as a firefighter/engineer with the Davenport Fire Department and Instructor 1 certification. Exemptions may be granted based on class availability. Requires a valid Iowa driver's license and must maintain throughout the duration of employment.
A question.
Sure.
Now, the lieutenant is a supervisory position,
Yes.
so he's in the union, but yet he's also a supervisor?
Correct.
Okay, just usually once you're a supervisor, that puts you out of the union, but this is not the case here, and it's,
Correct. Per civil service, that is one thing that is outlined for the fire department.
okay, that isn't a problem. Okay.
Alice, okay, yeah.
It's included in the union, but the testing process is covered by civil service, but yes, it is part of the union. I understand what you're saying. It is, may seem a little bit odd that a supervisor would be in the same union, but that is traditionally how those positions are handled.
Okay.
So we had 18 applicants. 17 candidates were qualified and invited to participate in the written examination. 17 candidates passed the written examination and invited to participate in the tactical. 15 candidates passed the tactical, 2 scored below 70%. 15 candidates were invited to participate in the interview. 15 candidates passed the interview. And per Iowa Code 400.11, promotional lists are limited to 10 persons. So we do have 10 candidates on that certification list.
How did they choose which 10?
It is the top 10 scores. And then our stats.
Now, it said they had to, going back, that they were from Davenport. Do you ever get applications, or can people from other fire departments apply for jobs like this in Davenport?
Not on the fire lieutenant. You do have to be a current employee with the city of Davenport for promotional within the fire department. Yes. Okay. Our stats. And any questions before we proceed? Any additional ones? Okay. That concludes our presentation for the list. Okay.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the certification list as presented after answering questions.
So moved.
Second.
A second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. We're down to adjournment already?
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, anybody have anything else? Okay. Our next meeting date is Wednesday, June 9th at 9 a.m. And I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Could I point out that
Sure.
one person just asked us to have our second meeting in July on the 21st, not the 14th. We ought to make a notation of that.
Okay.
And we'll send out a reminder email as
Yeah.
well. We'll work with you closer to July.
Okay. We'll take that into note.
I move to adjourn.
All right, second. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We are adjourned.
All right.
We still have to sign the paperwork.
Yeah.